What's going on, guys? Big Green Flex here, voice of Flex, back again. Video number 5. Well, this is 10, but video number 5. Um, just finished the Inflation Reduction Act reaction. Check that out. It'll be right below this one on the channel, and the clips will be before these clips on TikTok. But now we're gonna go in. We're gonna react to this fresh and fit video about the wage gap. It's a 6-minute clip. I watched part of it earlier, and I was like, nah, let me stop because I want to react to this. But pretty much, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I kind of feel as if it's bogus because you'll see in this video there's a lot of good points on why, but also because a lot of the studies that they did with that kind of stuff didn't consider overtime, it didn't consider field of work, any of that shit. And they'll touch on some of this stuff in this clip, but let's see what we got.
The,
All
the
right.
wage gap is a myth between men and women.
It's a silly thing.
It typically states that women earn about 80 cents on the dollar that every man earns. Here's the problem with the wage gap myth. It just accounts for all working men versus all working women. It doesn't account for degrees held, careers held, the experience, and a multitude of other factors
Overtime.
that
See, like I said, it just accounts a large body of men, or probably they use a census, all men that are employed, or even self-employed. I don't know the full-on statistic, but and then against women, and it's like he said, it doesn't account for degrees. So, and even now, he'll talk about this. I think I started to get to that point in the video. Even now, women are earning a lot more degrees than men. They're going into their colleges are filled with women, primarily women by a long shot. But just in general, men usually get degrees in fields that actually pay a lot: math, science. It's called STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. They go into fields that actually have the potential to make a lot of money. But then on the flip side, they also do some of the harder labor jobs or blue collar jobs that also could make a lot of money or lead you into project management type fields, such as construction, welding, um, mechanics, like all these different things. So whereas women are usually teachers, educators, social workers, like all this kind of stuff. So when you compare those two, you're not really comparing apples to apples because you're taking I guess the same sample size as far as the amount of people, but you're not actually comparing the things within those people that are allowing them to earn that type of money. So it doesn't really make sense.
hours worked. It doesn't account for agreeableness, which is obviously a very important trend because when you're more agreeable, you're more likely to accept the wage they give you versus fighting for higher wages.
That's a very big one too, because I've noticed, and especially growing up with women and having a lot of female friends over the years, I've noticed that women tend to give in a lot to the circumstances that they're given. They're not actually fighters or aggressive in the sense that they're going to go into an interview and say, okay, this is what I was making at my last job, so I want to make this, or this is what I'm used to making, in this field of work, so I want to make this. Or a or say 6 months goes by of good performance, and you're like, you know what, hey, I want to ask for a raise, or hey, I want to ask for a promotion, or whatever the case may be. Women tend to just say, oh, this is what the job pays, so this is what I'm going to take. Or hey, they're offering 60, so I'm gonna ask for 65. It's like, no, they're offering 60, you ask for fucking 90, and then if they hit you back at 75 and meet you in the middle, cool. Like, you don't just accept the circumstances given to you, because you're never gonna progress that way. So that is a really good point, and also it just makes a lot of sense because they are very agreeable and they tend to just go along with what's given.
So the reason why men get paid more, right, than women typically is because of choice. Men work more hours, they work more dangerous jobs, they work jobs that pay more money. In general, men are way more willing to take risk, and they go into career fields that make more money. Women are not interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Women are more interested in social type work, like office work, stuff that's safe with air conditioning.
Yep.
That's the reality. Men work the dangerous jobs.
It's true. Like at any given point, when you ride past a construction site, you see all dudes. At any given point, when you go to a bridge being built, or roads being built, like new highways and overpasses and stuff like that, you see men. Whenever you see scientists that are developing new whatever, it's men. It's very rare that you see women doing these things, and it's by their own choices. Now, mind you, girls, there are a lot of female scientists, and and architects and stuff like that. But for the most part, females tend to take jobs that are a lot more comfortable, consistent, don't require too much effort as far as going outside of the regular tasks that you're needing to do, and things that don't really, or things that involve people, things that, kids, family members, working around a lot of people and relationships and stuff like that.
Jobs. You're not going to see many women on a construction field. You're not going to see many women offshore drilling. Women pick safe jobs that typically tend to pay less, that are involved with people. Men are more interested in things. So, like, and the whole thing about the wage gap, if we could really get away with paying women 80 cents on every dollar for a man, there would be no men in the workplace. Every employer would hire women. It's just that the thing is, and here's the other thing too,
Dang, I just realized I didn't have these videos maxed out. On the TikTok clips, it'll be fine because I can like scan it into whatever, but I need to have these things zoomed in. So that's my bad.
debunk this. There's overwhelmingly more women in college now than men.
Yeah.
So why are men still out earning women? It's
Mhm.
because of personal choice.
So you just said women are not interested in STEM. The reason we have scholarships for women for STEM, you can look it up, there's programs for it, is because the society that men created, the patriarchy, condition men to
Society, the patriarchy. It's like, bro, like, you can't keep playing the victim role and saying that you're so oppressed as a woman and that, all this other stuff. It's like they have those programs because women choose not to go into those fields. They choose not to pursue degrees in those fields. That's the reason why they have the programs. It's not because women don't have the opportunity to do so. Like he just said, and like I mentioned before, colleges are filled with women. It's usually like a 6-4 or 7-3 ratio as far as the amount of women that go to college or stay in college and get a degree versus men. It's very outweighed. But they choose to get degrees in social work. And you can take a poll out of, anyone watching this video. Go ask, say 5 girls that whether they're family members or friends or whatever the case may be, or even 5 random girls. And if they have a degree, ask if they have a degree, and then ask them what their field of study was in. I guarantee you, most of them, 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 will be some type of social work, education, something related to education, like so English or history or something like that. And you might get 1 or 2 that studied biology or studied whatever. Which and even in those cases, they don't pursue the further degree, like a master's degree or something that will actually, like a medicinal degree that will actually allow them to be upper ranks of those types of fields. They just usually do something more laboratory based. So
to go towards those jobs, the riskier jobs, the higher paying jobs, the jobs that they have the connections in, the boys clubs in, women have not been able to penetrate into those fields because of society.
No.
So hold on.
because
Let me
because of society, like no, because you don't want to.
get this straight.
society though. It's
So-
it's not
That
true.
would
I mean,
still be
I'll be
choice.
quiet. Like whatever.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I actually like 3 weeks ago, I had a friend who is in a construction job, right? And he has to go underwater and like repair pipes, right? That's his job. And majority of the women on his team do not want to do that job. He passed. He died. And it's like majority of those women did not want to do that job because it's a risky job. Now he's a man. He did that job and he died. He literally died. So it's like
He literally died. I always think it's funny when girls try and like make a point and they use like literally all the time, or they use like and they don't really have a sense of direction for the conversation or the point that they're trying to make, so they can't really articulate it well. So they just use a lot of these filler words. It's funny.
he got paid more. And it's like, it's kind of sad and it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, like women can't take those same risks as men can.
Women are in the army.
They can, and she was trying to say this, but in a roundabout way. They can, they choose not to.
Women are in all
Yeah.
forces
Okay,
of the
they
army.
can, but why are they
Women
there?
lead construction. Have you
for a
never seen a woman on a
very-
construction site?
for a
Miss
very different
Pathological
reason.
Act-
You're talking about one out of every. That one woman is probably compared to every 10,000 or 20,000 men. For every 10,000 men on a construction site, you got 1 female. Like, you can't really make exceptions to the rule. Represent the rule. Represent the general public.
Liar, like,
Reason.
just be quiet.
Miss
'cause
Pathological
It's not a different
liar.
reason.
Talking about your
Why
friend
do
this, your
Just be quiet. So stupid.
Friend that your friend.
Hold
your
on, hold on,
own
hold on,
thing.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
That's, I'm not
Whoa.
pathologically lying about
Yo,
something
guys,
like
guys,
that.
guys. Let her finish her point. We don't need the attitude, okay?
No,
Let her finish her
seriously.
point, and then you can go ahead and rebut what she has to say.
Sorry.
Look, I didn't
Please
come on
finish
this
your-
podcast
finish.
to pathologically lie.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
I'm
And-
just saying that like he took that life, like it's a very, look, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and cry because it's something that's emotional to me, but I'm making the point that it's like women aren't willing to take those jobs.
Okay.
You know, like they aren't. It's a very like men are willing to give up their lives all the time for women, for their families, for jobs, for religion, for any reason. Like men are more likely to give up their lives than women are.
Okay.
Facts. And I think that's another really good point because women fail to realize that a lot of the luxuries they experience, whether it be in this country or outside of this country or just their everyday lives, are because of men sacrificing something, whether it be now, present, whatever. Military, especially in America, men sacrifice for years and years and years going to these wars, which now I think are stupid, but they sacrifice those things to keep America its own country. And then you have going into certain fields like tech, like engineering, and building these things that then women, Instagram, TikTok, which that's Chinese, but just in general, a lot of these luxuries that they experience on a day-to-day basis and take advantage of are because men were willing to say, you know what, nah, fuck this, we're going to do this instead. And yeah, it's the patriarchy in the society, and that's fucking ruining everything. It's like, no, that's the reason why we have everything.
Okay.
So it's
go ahead.
like-
What's your response to that?
It's historical.
Well, go ahead.
Seriously.
It's historical.
I
And then
never
I'll turn it
said
to you.
I never
I'm not a
said men don't
pathological
do
liar.
those
Let her
jobs.
finish. You made your point. Go ahead.
First of all, my initial argument wasn't with you anyways. It's just you chimed in, but I was saying
What does that have to do with anything? She's now making a valid point to counteract your argument. So instead of trying to dismiss her because she disagrees with you, why don't you actually have an argument back for her?
Well,
No-
she's
nobody-
augmenting the because we're saying the wage gap
Yes.
doesn't exist, and you're arguing that it does.
yes,
Go ahead.
and nobody negated the fact that men do dangerous jobs in the army, construction, whatever,
Mhm.
so on and so forth. But to say women don't take those jobs, if you've never seen a woman on a construction site, I have. Like, if you haven't seen women lawyers, most of the lawyers in my firm are women. Like, this is anecdotal evidence. Everything, like everything is just going off people's word. So
Okay. And then you had something.
I don't remember what the
Fresh.
argument was before she
No.
started.
Fresh
Okay.
look,
So-
he's like, oh man, I'm about to kill her.
So here's the thing. Here-
Oh, the wage
like,
gap.
yeah. So you're saying you've seen women on construction sites and stuff like that, right?
yes, like
Okay.
project managers.
Fantastic. But here's the reality: most women don't want those jobs. Those are exceptions to the rule.
Mhm.
So my argument is this: if we have more women in college, we have more educated women than ever before. They're still not entering the STEM fields. Because why? They're not choosing to go into the STEM fields.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Like 90% of the
so-
girls I went to college with were biology majors or health sciences, like not even to be nurses, to be doctors. So that is just a complete
But
fallacy.
hold on, what
to
is
say
it-
women don't go into science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah, but
I
how
know
many of those- here's the
architecture
thing you gotta
majors,
understand.
like
There's a lot of people that major in biology that don't actually make it to medical
Exactly.
school.
Yeah.
molecular biology, biochemistry, everything. Biology was
but you're still going to
blanket
need an
statement.
advanced degree. And then even when women get those degrees, they don't want to go into that workplace.
Yeah.
Like it comes down to choice. Like, I mean, we got to have a little bit of accountability here. It's not that women aren't afforded the opportunities. It's just that they don't want to work those opportunities. Women prefer to be around people. Like
Yep.
they're not interested in things. And women are less likely to take risk. This is biology. Like men,
Yeah,
since
it's
the beginning of time, have taken risks because men have a natural proclivity to create resources. Women don't. Because a man understands his value is determined by what he creates. I mean, all of you ladies here at the table had a very big interest in a man's ability to earn money.
Yeah,
So
of
men know
course.
this innately that they need to create. Women, however, know, okay, my beauty is what defines me. I mean, we asked you guys all in here. Most of you said I'd rather be, valued for my body versus my money. You were the only one that said I'd rather be valued for my money. Well, you're an exception to the rule. Most women, if left to their own devices, want to have a family and children and want to prioritize that over a career.
Mhm.
Now, am I saying that career women are wrong or whatever it may be?
See, and because of that, they then flip those inner emotions into their career. So then, like I said, they usually choose education, they choose social work, they choose what's the nursery type work, like they go into fields where they're around like infants and stuff like that. Even a lot of female doctors are usually OBGYNs or something to do with nursing babies, or bringing babies into the world. Pediatrics, like family medicine, stuff like that, because they like being around people. They like the emotional attachment with relationships. They don't really like working on something mechanical or developing something new or taking the risk to say, you know what, I'm not going to make any money for 2 years because my mission for my company or for my business is greater than that. They're not really going to do those types of things.
No, but we got to operate in reality here. Women are less likely to take risk, and there's a multitude of factors. It's a multivariate analysis as to why women make less than men. It's choice. It's not a gender. And I would argue if a woman competes for the same job as a man and that field is dominated by men, she has a far highly likelihood
gonna get the
of being
job,
hired over that man.
for
If
sure.
a woman applies for anything with firefighters, police officers,
Plumbing.
civil service, plumbing, etc.,
You know, Liberty.
Yep. Like he said, usually because of workplaces wanting to diversify and wanting to get, fresh new ideas and stuff like that, a lot of the times they will hire women over men in specific fields where their men are dominated, because they want to now open up those spaces to women. It's just they choose not to. But anyway, hope y'all liked the video. I'm gonna have this one up here in a little bit, and then throw some of those clips up on TikTok as usual. Make sure to go follow the TikTok. It's the same thing, Voice of Flex. Make sure to drop a like, comment down below your thoughts. I don't know really who my audience is. I don't really have an audience at this point, but I would love to hear your thoughts anyway. And yeah, we're gonna do the next video, reacting to a Fresh and Fit clip about tribes amongst men and having a good, strong friend group. So catch you on that one.